Well, welcome back to another discussion of one of the great books. I'm calling this What I Wish I Knew Before I Taught a Particular Classic. And the classic that we're dealing with today is Murder in the Cathedral by T.S. Eliot. And if you're paying attention, T.S. Eliot is a 20th century writer, and you're thinking to yourself, aren't we dealing with medieval works right now? Yes, I teach this book during the medieval segment of the great books because it focuses on Thomas à Becket. Just like I teach Julius Caesar, the play by Shakespeare, in ancient civilization because it focuses on the life of Caesar and lets you read a great author like Shakespeare. Make no mistake about it, T.S. Eliot is one of the greatest Christian writers of the 20th century. If you only know him for The Wasteland, then you know him before he trusted Christ. The Wasteland is a brilliant poem of despair, but Eliot did come to Christ and did write great poetry, great plays after that time. And his greatest play, bar none, is Murder in the Cathedral. So the reason I think you should teach this play, number one, is that it will familiarize your students with the life of Thomas à Becket and specifically his tension with King Henry II. And the second reason I think you should teach this is because T.S. Eliot is a brilliant writer. And the third reason, and we're going to talk about this, the third reason is that this really deals with separation of church and state, the tension between two powers. So we'll unpack that too in what I like to call What I Wish I Knew Before I Taught, Murder in the Cathedral. Number one, you are going to need to know a little bit about the life of Thomas à Becket. You probably already know that he has been sainted by the Catholic Church. His shrine was a famous site for pilgrimages for centuries. And you should know about sort of the arc of his career. He began, as pretty much all of us do, with someone without much responsibility, and then he did gain governmental authority, and then King Henry II wanted him to serve both in the highest governmental role and as the Archbishop of Canterbury, and was very shocked to find that Thomas à Becket immediately turned his back on his public life as a part of the government, gave up all of that luxury and power, and became a very serious component of the Catholic Church as the Archbishop of Canterbury. And this caused a great deal of friction between him and King Henry II. There was a time, in fact, where he went into hiding for 6 years. I'm talking about Thomas, went into hiding for 6 years and tried to resign his post as the Archbishop of Canterbury. The Pope wouldn't have that. Henry eventually summoned Thomas à Becket back, and they were seeking to reconcile, but Thomas à Becket would continue to stand on principle, continue to put the needs of the church above King Henry II's whims, and because of that, there was tension again. And famously, King Henry II said, just sort of sitting around the dinner table, "Isn't there anybody who would rid me of this troublesome man?" And apparently, he didn't mean what 4 knights took it to mean, but these 4 knights interpreted that as, isn't there anybody loyal enough to go ahead and take out Thomas à Becket? So horribly, in history, this actually happened. 4 knights went into the cathedral. They didn't lurk in an alley waiting for Thomas à Becket. They went into the cathedral and cut him down. So that is sort of the essence of his story. He stood firm against the king, and whether or not the king ordered the assassination, was assassinated for his stance. And then Eliot